Well, good morning. It's another beautifully cold day here in north central Florida. Cold for Florida anyway. I know you guys are experiencing some unbelievable temperatures further north from us. I can't believe they got 6 inches of snow on the ground in South Georgia where I used to live. I've never ever seen that. So and I lived there for a long time, from like the early 80s off and on throughout most of my life. I was in Georgia off and on and never saw snow that way, even when I would see pictures later on. But it's beautiful. It's something I've learned to embrace, even though I have always been one to not like the cold. It was the kind of thing that would keep me from learning about deer hunting in my early life in Georgia, because I thought, what, you got to get up when during the winter and go get in a tree? I don't want a deer that bad. But you know, I realized that was avoiding a difficulty that could have been very rewarding for me. And I realized that can become a very bad habit, avoiding difficulty, especially since I've raised 4 children. And I've watched as a lot of times when you try to let them experience the challenge of something, like maybe a game or a sport, and when it gets difficult, they want to quit. It can be easy to let them quit because it's like, gosh, I have a hard enough time pushing through my own life all the time without having to worry about whether or not I can motivate this kid to get up and do something that's good for him. But you know, we did that with our youngest one especially, and with the most recent, his older brother, in 2 regards. We made one of them stick with his piano lessons. We made the other one stick with karate. And even though they don't have as much appreciation for it now, they know that it makes a big difference. And it's something that they'll carry with them their whole lives, no matter what. All right, Daisy. You see, Daisy's really excited again this morning. She's always here to let us know she's excited. She's a beautiful shepherd, though. Anyway, come on, Daisy, give me a break. Oh, Lord. So anyway, that's one of the things that that's one of the things about habits that can be so important, is you want to teach your kids young to develop those good habits, to push through the difficulty. I didn't get that. I didn't get that when I was younger. And I can look back in my life and remember all the times that I shirked away from the difficulty because I was seeking comfort. And it took Carnivore Diet to kind of open my eyes to how important good habits become, because Carnivore Diet is all about creating new good habits and breaking old bad habits. We didn't know in some cases that we were doing something wrong because we thought it was food. But as I watch friends and family members eat stuff that I know is partially hydrogenated vegetable oil and all the other junk that is in the food that I watch people eat that I love, I think, why? So I asked one of them one time recently, I said, why would you eat that knowing what it is? And it's like, well, because I like to bake and it tastes good. And it's like, yeah, but what's it doing to you? Is it actually making you feel better? Is it actually helping you? They're willing to admit that it won't. And I think a lot of us realize that. We're like, yeah, I'm just going to eat it because I want to. It's comfort seeking. It's what it comes down to, is comfort seeking, and it's leading you to a place of discomfort. I heard somebody say just the other day about how important it is to realize that seeking comfort is the pathway to no comfort, and facing adversity is the pathway to having the actual comfort inside yourself that you're looking for, because the circumstances are never going to make us comfortable. We live in the world. The world is tough. Everybody's dying. There's so much going on, it's just unbelievable sometimes. But when you're doing the right things, and this was the key, he said, you give me somebody with bad habits, and it doesn't matter how much time you give them, they're never going to succeed at what they're trying to do. But you give me somebody with good habits, and time is their ally. Because eventually, if they stick to those good habits, it's going to work out. But if you stick with bad habits, it's not going to work out. It's going to be like being, as he told me, it's like being in a 12-foot hole, but you can only jump 10 feet high. You're jumping 10 feet, which is amazing, but it's not enough to get you out. You got to be willing to do a little bit more. And that's where something like a carnivore diet, the elimination diet that carnivore diet is, teaches us some of that discipline. And it's helped me as I'm facing certain adversities in my life now. And I want to be able to share that with you, because I'm not here to try to prove anything. I just want to be able to give something to people. That's why I shared this information to begin with. I thought at the very beginning, when I first shared 125 days on Lion Diet, I thought, okay, this might encourage some people to do some things that are good for them and maybe lose some weight. Because I knew I was going to lose weight. I just wasn't thinking about losing weight. I was thinking about getting healthy. And I knew that the motivator a lot of time for people is I want to change the way my body looks, the image of my body in my own mind and the image of my body as it actually is. So I thought, well, if I can give that to somebody, that's great. And all I've been able to do on this channel for the last 3.5, almost 4 years that I've been broadcasting it, that's over 4 years that I've been doing a carnivore diet, but I only started after that 125 days of broadcasting it, is that I'm not here to prove anything to you. I'm here to give something to you. I'm here to give you anything that I find along the way that helps me be better. And carnivore diet was the catalyst for all kinds of other change in my life. So this diet has been good for me, not only physically, but mentally and spiritually, because of the good habits it teaches me. It teaches me the value of living a good habit. And it changes everything. When you realize how important it is to have good habits, things like being thankful first thing in the morning. If you're breathing, that's a great one. I can breathe in air and it keeps me alive, and I don't even have to work to do it. It's just there. Being thankful for the things you have. It's a great habit to start with. Getting up and getting out and doing this ruck because I need to start my day right. Good habit. Getting back to the house, doing a Bible study with my family. Good habit. Getting started on my workday immediately after. Good habit. Setting up a block time so that I'm using my time wisely throughout the day, especially as I become more and more busy, because my habits are bringing things on board that keep me busy. It's like the better your habits are, the more responsibility you're given, because you're capable. Well, I want everyone here to be capable of being the person that they wanted to be. And it's not the person that you hate yourself for being most of your life. You can't focus on that person. You have to focus on being the person that you want to be. And carnivore diet helped me do that. Well, that's all I got to share with you guys this morning. What did you think, Sam? He said, I loved it. It was cold out here and I have this thick fur coat on all the time, and you make me live in Florida. So yes, I loved it. So Sam loved it. I loved it. I loved our time together. I hope you loved it. I'll see you guys next time.
If we pay extra, could we maybe get some grease or fat?
One of the things I do to fight back against big food and big pharma is to recommend companies that make animal-based products that are good for our bodies and good for our skin. In this case, I'm talking about Vintage Tradition. Vintage Tradition tallow balms are a go-to for me now, especially the unscented one. I like it because it doesn't have anything extra in it other than extra virgin olive oil and tallow rendered from suet. For the tallow they use making the tallow balm, highly saturated and therefore more therapeutic than any other. They don't use any trim fat or any other fats besides suet. So if you want some ancestrally appropriate skincare products that are going to help support the carnivore movement, head over to vintagetradition.com and use my discount code Dante, D-A-N-T-E, to save 10% on your order. I promise you won't regret it. Their products are fantastic. I love them and I use them all the time.